I love this show.
I gotta get everything pulled up. Oh, I forgot about it.
Drake had everything pulled up.
Movies are awesome this week.
For 82?
Music is killer.
Yeah, I just had to do the whole year. There was
Nice.
nothing for March of 82 or February or whatever month we're in. And there was a ton to choose from.
Oh, 82, the year a kicker won the MVP.
Laces out, Dan.
This was the strike year. I forgot all about that.
Damn, Tucker Carlson released his interview of Vladimir Putin 1 hour ago. It's already up to 7.1 million views.
Who's Tucker Carlson?
Tucker Carlson?
He
said Tuckle.
Oh.
I know who he is. Dave just said it wrong.
All right, let's go.
I'm ready.
My daughter
you
said we're
sure?
too loud. She can't sleep when we're recording.
6:30.
Well, in an hour and a half, should we go to bed?
We should be done.
Hello and welcome to the Filter Free Popcast. I am your host, TJ Stevens.
Problematic.
Out of my left earbud.
Getting off to a banging start here.
Joining me as always,
Step hens.
Dollar Bill Dave.
I touched myself.
I just need to clip that. Just Dave leaning for. I touched myself.
And Timmy C.
Goo goo goo.
Dave's is awesome, and he got a new hat, and it's hilarious. Are you drunk? Yes or no? And it's marked on the right-hand side for both.
Time limit draws. Get my panties wet. I love it.
We've covered this butt wipe on a few different occasions.
Butt wipe?
You don't call people butt wipe anymore?
No, I'm not 7. Good news is I've limited the producer's amount to screw us over this, so we're actually going to get to sing along with the songs now. You are welcome.
You gotta fight for your right to party! Hello and welcome to the Filter Free Popcast. I'm your host, TJ Stevens.
Step ins.
Thank you. Joining me as always,
Depends.
I almost said Dolly Bill Dane because you started talking in the middle. Dollar Bill Dane.
So,
And Timmy C.
Tuckle Carlson.
Tuckle.
Tuckle.
Please remember to subscribe and rate this show wherever you get your podcast. While you're at it, follow the show on Twitter at FF Popcast, on Instagram at Filter Free Popcast. Follow our Patreon network on Twitter at Filter Free Net, and of course, our streaming partners over on YouTube now at Watch on Premiere. But Timmy, if they go to our Patreon page, patreon.com/filter free, what is available to them?
Well, they will get Legends. Let's rethink this. Footballers getting paid with Tim and Dave. Evolution of Evil. Wrestling with commercials, which we dropped an episode last week, and it was fire. Plus our list of 2024 events. You've already missed the Royal Rumble. We got lots of stuff in the works. We're going to find out where we're going.
It appears we are going to Waterloo here in the summer. I didn't realize this is the first, but Arn Anderson's going in the Hall of Fame.
I'm pretty sure I won't be there.
Is Napoleon
Okay.
going to be there?
But
Napoleon?
Yeah.
Dynamite?
Well, that's how it works. We weren't in Tampa, but
Yeah.
we were. So
We don't do events together anymore.
Yeah. Dave's moved to Alabama and has all his friends, and there's me
Already.
and TJ. Just me and
But most
TJ
of his
hang
new
out.
friends will be in Waterloo.
I'll probably be on vacation that week.
I'm on vacation I'm on vacation as we speak, in fact.
I'm not.
I'm in Mexico.
I'm looking at Disney vacations for this year, but I'm on actively on vacation.
That
Are you
sounds
rich?
like torture.
I no. I mean, we might be sleeping under a bridge to go to Disney,
Okay.
but we're gonna try to go to Disney. I don't know about
It's
you guys,
Super
but I
8.
ate. Yes, I ate at. I had Jimmy John's delivered to the house. I tried the new Cajun, and they're not a sponsor of the show, but I really like Jimmy John's. And I tried their new Cajun chicken wrap, and now my hands smell like onions.
Ew.
It's very upsetting.
Not an endorsement.
No.
That's why they're not a sponsor.
It was very oily. I mean, it was delicious. Don't misunderstand me. But my hands, it was very oily, and now my hands smell like onions.
So you had something that was like a foot long and oily, and now your hands smell.
Yes. Yeah.
Just like
Buff
Drake.
Bagwell's not even on the show.
Just like Drake.
Oh, Drake. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Is that our current topic for today? We're talking about Drake's ding dong and him fluffing himself on social media.
It's part of it.
I didn't
because
see
social media is horrible.
We kind of teased this a couple weeks ago. We're going to do social media decorum. Are we finally there?
I think so.
All right, let's do that.
Don't post pictures of your ding dong on social media.
Well, I mean,
I don't think he posted the pictures of his ding dong.
If
Although
you gotta,
I would have. I mean, daily I would be posting pictures of it.
You would, your feed, every time you refresh your feed, my dick would be on it.
I'm pretty sure he turned it into a lasso at one point.
That's gross.
But the real topic here, and this isn't to discount Drake's penis. It's very handsome. But the real topic here is
handsome dick.
So we have this Rock and Cody thing going on right now. And the reason why we're not actually covering the Rock and Cody ordeal right now is because, again, we're a week behind when we record this, so we don't really know what's happened in the meantime. But what we do know has happened is wrestling fans, y'all let us down again. I mean, you're getting so upset over a potential WrestleMania main event. First of all, did you guys forget it's 2 nights now? And also, to the point we're so upset with The Rock that you're sending his daughter, who's the general manager of NXT, death threats because no one knows why.
By the way, she's not really the general manager. She just plays one on TV.
Correct. I don't understand you people. Listen, I've been watching wrestling since 1989. I've never been so upset about anything I've seen in wrestling. I wanted to send a death threat to someone. Now, granted, back in the day, they'd been quite painstaking because I had to write a letter and mail that bitch. And
that's why people feel free to do it now.
Yeah, back then 40 cents for postage was a lot. But now
it was 25 back then.
Right. All these spineless, faceless jackasses to get on social media and send death threats. Again, I dare any of you that sent death threats to The Rock's daughter to say to The Rock's face how much his daughter sucks. Just make sure you're recording it when you do it. Actually, you know what? Tell me to my face how much The Rock's daughter sucks, and just make sure you record it. I will beat the shit out of you. This is absurd.
Well,
wrestling.
You're disappointed. I fully expected it.
No, sadly enough, I'm not surprised at all.
I didn't expect it because you don't think about it because we're rational people.
Right.
But it doesn't shock me when it happens because people are stupid. Like, what are we doing here?
It's wrestling. It's entertainment. Did you write Tim Burton death threats when the Joker died in Batman? What the hell?
I'm really
it's all the same shit.
Example. I did.
I did not.
Stupid.
No. I was like 3 when that movie came out. I'm sure
people get mad. I mean, it's not worth getting mad over.
No,
like, dude, this isn't real life. It's not.
And again, we don't get to see Roman and Cody. WrestleMania is 2 nights. They can do both. Cody beats Roman night 1 for the title.
Even if they don't at WrestleMania, which I want Roman and Cody, but even if they don't, we're gonna get it down the line.
Yeah.
Relax, it's gonna happen.
And you know what do you know what I'm gonna do the day after? I'm gonna get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, take a shower, and go to fucking work because my life has not been
You're gonna
altered
shit
in any
too.
way, shape, or form.
You're a shit too.
I'm a night shitter. I'm not really a morning shitter.
That's next week's topic. Night shitting.
Shit schedules?
Yeah.
I'm in.
There's schedules.
Shituals. But no, I mean, stop being terrible. You people are idiots.
Terrible. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Now, granted, I would say wrestling is probably like the only, huge fan base in Twitter I'm really involved with. I talk about I'll live tweet the Bears games sometimes, but my thoughts are Cubs games I don't, Blackhawks games I don't. So wrestling is really the only major one I'm a part of. And there's sometimes wrestling Twitter is awesome. Most of the time,
It's a cesspool.
it's hot trash. Hot trash.
I'm also kind of part of Bengals Twitter, and that is way more uplifting than friggin' wrestling Twitter.
I mean, outside of the 2 weeks I had to listen to Bears fans try to explain to me why Tyson Bagent would be a better starting quarterback for the Bears than Justin Fields. Outside of that,
neither
one's a good season. But yeah, it's been just the worst. It's wrestling, y'all. Let it play out. We're 2 months away. Actually, as we're recording this, they're doing the press conference for WrestleMania.
Yeah. I don't get it. I really don't.
And then here's another one I saw. Conrad Thompson posted the other day that he finally cornered Bruce Pritchard. They're going to record their next episode of Something to Wrestle. I shit you not. The first comment I see is the best thing for Bruce to do right now would just be bleed out and die on the operating table.
What in the hell?
Because again, and there's a certain podcaster from Kentucky, and it's not him, it's his loudmouth co-host and my cat.
Me?
No.
Oh.
Who are again, it's not the Kentucky guy, it's the guy from New Jersey, who's, again, no evidence to such, just assuming Bruce Pritchard's involved in all this Vince McMahon shit. Stop it. Until you have evidence, stop saying people are involved, because they're not, until they are. You can't do that. You're misleading your audience. It's the worst.
You're trying to get views at that point.
Yes.
Or
well, and
that's all people want. People just want clout. That's it.
Right.
They want social media clout, and they know that they can get away with saying it because back in the day,
you had to say it to their face.
You had to say it to their face. You couldn't just say it over some online platform where you're anonymous. And that's why I post a picture of myself. I'm not a bitch.
Too. Yeah.
And I'll post where I'm at, whatever. I don't care. But guess what? I don't go around wishing death upon people and trying to stir up shit just to be funny. Because you're talking about somebody's livelihood. I mean, we have no idea who knows what. We can kind of guess that there's some people that, I mean, I'm sure they knew Vince McMahon was having some affairs.
Right. Sure.
They didn't know Vince McMahon was shitting on broads and doing stuff like this. Let's be realistic.
Broads? Is this the 80s? Broads?
Yes.
No.
He just turned to Andrew Dice Clay.
He did.
Little Miss Muppet sat on a tuppet.
It's Muppet.
Eating her curds and whey.
And listen,
Along
the
came
guy...
a spider, sat down beside her. Said,
you know, I'll say his name. Brian Last from the Jim Cornette shows. He keeps insinuating Bruce Pritchard's involved on this because he has a vendetta against Bruce Pritchard has for years. He doesn't
Guess what?
hide
A lot of people hate Bruce.
I'll give him credit for that. He doesn't hide it. But you can't lead people on to make people think that people are involved in this shit when they haven't been named. They haven't been listen, it's right now it's Vince McMahon, it's John Laurinaitis, it's Brock Lesnar. That's all we know. As far as I know, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Stop it. People are assuming Triple H.
And in due time, It's going to come out, and we're going to know more names.
If Bruce Pritchard's
then
named,
you can start drawing to your own conclusions.
Yeah, if Bruce Pritchard gets named, throw a parade if you want to. But until then, stop.
Right down the middle of that cesspool, New Jersey.
Terrible. Well, speaking of terrible, we're getting ready to watch some world-class championship wrestling.
It was not terrible.
We've liked it in the past.
This was the worst thing we've ever watched.
Incorrect. Last week's Thunder was much worse.
I'd rather watch December to Dismember on repeat.
I don't know if I go that far. But
I'd rather watch a 37-minute match between Eminem and the Hardy Boys.
Eminem solo a handicap match? Or
Eminem.
you mean Monday night?
The rapper?
Yeah,
no.
I thought you meant the rapper. You mean Morrison, Molina, and Nitro. And that Eminem.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it'd be Mercury, Molina.
It was Mercury, Nitro, and Molina or whatever.
Yeah. I'd
Molina,
rather see
Mercury.
Eminem and the Motor City Machine Guns in a 6-man tag against the Hardy Boys and Lita.
Shouldn't Lita be replaced by Drake in this scenario?
Drake.
You wishing death upon Lita?
I know. I said replaced by. Not mounted by. I said replaced by.
Spear.
Oh, she's dead. All right, Timmy, are you ready?
For what?
What do you mean for what? This week, we're going back to... It's another leap year, February 29th, 1982.
February 20th, you fat fingered it.
February 20th, not a leap year. I was just doing the math. I'm like, that was 42 years ago. I was at a leap year. Who lived in the world
every 4 years?
wrestling? However, before we get to that show, let's drop the beat. Let's see what was happening in your world yesterday.
Now!
Hold on. Wait for it. Stories that missed the cut. February 1st, late night with David Letterman debuts on NBC, with Dave's first guest being Bill Murray. How about that?
It's a good guess.
Although we kind of find out Bill Murray's an asshole in his own right in the last 2 years.
Because of Groundhog Day?
No. February 3rd, John Sharples of England completes his disco dancing session at 371 hours or 15.45 days.
Straight?
I hope not. I hope he ate somewhere in there.
Well, probably not. He was disco dancing.
His shoes, I mean, just throw those shoes out after that.
Oh, never mind.
February 4th, we get a new indoor distance record for the longest flight by a paper airplane, 47 meters in Tacoma, Washington.
How did this miss the cut?
This is stupid.
How did this miss the cut? This is what was going on in 82, folks. The stories that missed the cut are terrible. Stories in the wheelhouse are great. February 4th, Chris Sabin of the Motor City Machine Guns is born in Pinckney, Michigan.
6-man tag. Eminem.
February 4th, Kimberly Wyatt of the Pussycat Dolls is born in Warrensburg, Missouri.
Oh, I love me some Nicole Scherzinger.
That's not her, though.
Don't know.
I know, but she's hot. I'd like her to be my next ex-wife.
There you go.
You should... what?
I had a guy that I was in the Air Force with that always said that...
You're married. How would she be your next ex-wife? Are you a polygamist?
Wife, yes, he is. Have you met Dave?
He moved to Utah.
He would always tell me that his next wife hasn't been born yet.
Ew.
Did you say ooh? No.
No, to what I said, not to the picture. February 6th, Centerfold by the Jay Giles Band hits #1 on the pop chart.
Well,
my blood runs cold.
Trivioki.
Did you put that in Trivioki?
No, because
I was going to say you better read the notes.
Dave would have put it in there.
Oh, I don't read the notes. I don't read anything.
That's good.
We know.
This song was #1 on the pop chart here in 1982. My blood runs cold.
Never heard it.
What? February 11th. Ozzie Smith of the San Diego Padres is traded to the Cardinals for Gary Templeton.
That's home run king, Ozzie Smith.
I was going to say Gary Templeton hit more home runs the next year than Ozzie Smith did in his entire career.
Ozzie Smith had 28 career home runs. For those of you not been with us since day one, we found out.
Very
Ozzie
mid.
Smith was the
Very
story.
mid as a baseball player. Yes.
No. Defensively, he was
The
amazing.
wizard.
He was the wizard. Wizard
Nobody.
of Oz.
Chicks dig the long ball. They don't dig flippy shit. See the Young Bucks.
February 13th, former NFL running back Michael Turner is born in Waukegan, Illinois.
Never heard of him.
Michael Turner used to play for the Falcons.
That's
Was
why.
he part of? Was he part of Bachman Turner Overdrive?
No.
Born to be wild.
That's Steppenwolf, you dumb shit.
Whatever, same thing.
February 15th.
Good thing I'm the music guy.
Former Denver Nuggets forward and head coach Dan Issel begins his streak of 63 straight free throws made.
Let's see him do it with a paper airplane.
I could do
43
that.
meters away
63 free throws made. I could do that.
in a row.
Yeah.
In a game, in an NBA game.
No, it
First
wasn't
off,
in one game. It was not in one game.
Well, but he was playing in NBA games, correct?
Yes.
Dave couldn't get on the court, so he'd never make 63 free throws in a row.
You look like
I have
Jackie
missed.
Millen in
I
Trap
have
Bro.
missed 0 NBA free throws. Just saying.
That's true. I'm also with you. I'm there. I did get beat by an 8-year-old once, though.
I missed twice.
I missed 2. February 16th, Farrah Fawcett and Lee Majors get a divorce.
Didn't know they were married.
I didn't either.
Farrah Fawcett was fire back in the 80s.
He was.
Well, Lee Majors lived a charmed life because this would have been about the time he was on The Fall Guy with Heather Thomas.
I thought you were about to say.
Who makes Farrah Fawcett look like a bow wow?
I thought you were going to say Lee Majors also hot here in '82.
He was $6
He was a
million
handsome
man.
man. He had a handsome penis. February 17th,
He's no
Joseph
Drake.
Gordon-Levitt is born in Los Angeles.
Robin.
As we know him now.
Or
February-
Third Rock from the Sun.
Third Rock from the Sun. That actually was the show they referenced in this article or in this clip. February 20th, the New York Islanders win their NHL record 15th straight game as they beat the Colorado Rockies 3-2.
I don't think so.
But as we've done a story on this, the Rockies became the New Jersey Devils.
No.
They beat the Rockies in baseball.
I don't like that at all.
I don't like that at all.
Was Andres Galarraga on that team?
Yes, it was him, Dante Bichette,
No wonder
Todd
they beat
Helton.
him.
Larry
Playing the wrong
Walker,
sport.
Ellis Burke, Charles Johnson, Walt Weiss, Vinny Castilla,
David Need.
David. February 25th, Maria Kanellis is born in Ottawa, Illinois.
She's got nice hootie hoos.
She is so hot.
She is hot.
She's older than me.
And me too.
She's still hot.
She's still
Yeah.
hot. Your smoke show.
Yeah.
She actually had a post on Instagram today of her with her hootie hoos in her hands and nothing else. And
I liked it.
I can only hope that I look that good when I'm her age.
well, I'll be that
All you
age
need is a
next
boob
year.
job.
I'm gonna need a lot of plastic surgery to get there by next year.
I don't know how to transition to this next story from that. February 27th, Wayne Williams is found guilty of murdering 2 boys in relation to the Atlanta child murders. 28 were killed in total. Most of those cases are still unsolved.
I hope someone killed him.
Wayne Williams? No.
Yeah. They should have.
No.
The state didn't.
No. Wayne Williams claimed he might still be alive.
Look here,
I'm looking it up.
residents of the Georgia penal system, kill this sumbitch.
We're huge in the prisons.
We are huge in Atlanta prisons.
But he claimed to the he might have died, but I think
He's 65 years old.
he died when he was 65.
No, he is. 65.
Oh, he is 65. So he's maintained his innocence to this day. He says he was the fall guy.
No,
He's
Lee
serving
Majors was
life
the fall guy.
imprisonment. How did he not get death penalty? He's also believed to be responsible for at least 24 of the 30 Atlanta murders from 79 to 81, known as the Atlanta child murders.
Yes, he is strongly implicated, but they don't have enough evidence to tie him to them. So he was only convicted.
Close enough for me. Kill that sumbitch.
I mean, really, one's too many, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be careful. You might get banned on X.
Yeah, because sons of bitches. February, don't even get me started. Speaking of social media bullshit. February 28th, AT&T announces a then record loss for the fiscal quarter, a cool $7 billion. This is 1982.
That's
A lot
like
of
$26 trillion these days.
It was a down year for payphones.
Oh yeah, $7 billion in 1982.
You know how many quarters it would take to make that up?
That's like a day's worth of payphone calls.
7 billion times 4. So
That's 28 billion.
Billion.
Dave doesn't read. Dave doesn't do math.
I just said 28 billion, you idiot.
You just did math.
I'm good at the maths. As long as you don't put letters in it.
Oh, he's good. He's a genius in the mathematical arts.
Okay. I cannot wait. I told you the stories in the wheelhouse today were great. They are. Let's get started. The stories in the wheelhouse, February 3rd. Here's a story in the category of didn't see that coming. Porn star John Holmes is ordered to stay in trial for murder. Here's a direct quote from cinematographer Bob Fosse. If you're unfamiliar with how huge John Holmes was to the porn industry.
I'm sorry, how huge John Holmes was?
How
He's
huge
no
he
Drake.
was.
He's no Drake.
He's huge in the porn business and huge whainer as well. Here's the quote. John Holmes was to the adult film industry what Elvis Presley was rock and roll. He simply was the king.
Oh, yes, he was.
He was fat and on drugs. Holmes was a major actor in the two films that put adult films on the map in the United States, Deep Throat and Behind the Green Door, both in 1972. In the mid-70s, Holmes was arrested for pimping, but was released on the condition he become an informant for the LAPD, that narc.
You think he wore a pimp suit?
I can only hope. I just love that he's... What, Timmy?
Did you hear about the sequel to Deep Throat?
Gag reflex?
I don't like where this is going.
Drake's going to be, it's called Deeper Throat.
Deeper Throat. That's much better than what I thought you were going to say. So, I can't imagine being literally the two biggest porn titles, maybe still to this day. And you have to pimp on the side. Not making enough money. It's crazy. By the late 1970s,
he's not bigger than Ron Jeremy.
I mean, he probably would have been fine if it wasn't for the drug habit.
I mean, that's true. Holmes is on the Mount Rushmore, I would say. Yeah.
The porn Mount Rushmore?
Yeah.
All right, we got to pause for a second just to find out what our porn Mount Rushmore is.
Mount Pornmore?
Is that got to have Jenna Jameson's definitely got to be on there.
Jenna Jameson's on there.
Definitely.
Did Emily Willis die?
Who?
I don't know who that is.
The porn star that
Dirk Diggler's got to be on there.
Dirk
Diggler's not real.
I seen his penis. It's in the movie.
Maybe Christy, what's her name? With the big hoo-hoos?
Yeah, be more specific. I would think we have to throw Stormy in there because she did the acting and then she opened our production business.
Pam Anderson?
Didn't do porn.
Shmuley
Boteach.
Shmuley Boteach.
I still can't believe that's a real name. That is bananas to me.
He is on the porn Mount Rushmore just chiseling faces off of it.
Man. Turns around, watch my show Shalom in the Home every Wednesday night.
Shalom in your dome. Yeah, that's my porn movie.
Shalom in the Dome with John Holmes.
Oh, great.
Please. In the mid-70s, Holmes was arrested for pimping, but was released. I already said that. By the late 70s, Holmes was raking in nearly $3,000 a day. In the late 70s.
Still pimping.
From the porn business to spend a lot of that money on charity. Nah, he was doing blow and freebasing. Just kidding.
Yuck.
To support his drug habit, he was selling drugs to gangs and prostituting himself, well, to anyone that had a pulse. He was also committing yes. Maybe. He was also committing credit card fraud and began grooming 15-year-old Don Schiller. Then in 1980, John Holmes was introduced to Eddie Nash while Holmes was associated with the Wonderland Gang, a group of heroin-addicted coke dealers. I am making none of this up, by the way. Was that all factual?
Was that Kevin Nash's cousin?
I hope not. I think this is the Motor City Madman, actually, from 1990.
Kevin Nash was from the Motor City.
There you go. It wasn't Kevin Nash, though.
It's his cousin.
Then Holmes was using more drugs for personal consumption than what he was acceptable, and all hell broke loose.
What was acceptable?
That's where you guys come in.
After using more than his share of the Wonderland Gang's drugs, Holmes found himself falling out of their favor. In June 1981, Holmes told Lowness and Lind about a large stash of drugs, money, and jewelry Nash had at his house. Holmes helped to set up a home invasion and armed robbery committed on the morning of June 29th. Although Holmes was not present during the robbery, Nash apparently suspected he had a part in it. After forcing Holmes to confess to his participation and threatening his life and those of his family, Nash dispatched enforcers accompanied by Holmes to exact revenge against the Wonderland Gang. In the early hours of July 1st, 1981, 4 of the gang's members were found murdered and a 5th severely beaten in their row house.
Man. What is a row house?
Roadhouse.
Were they beaten with his manhammer?
Holmes was allegedly present during the murders and left a palm print over one victim's headboard, but it is unclear whether he participated in the killings.
I would say
he was just filming a movie. He was just filming a movie while the murder was going on.
Holmes was questioned but released due to a lack of evidence. He then refused to cooperate with the investigation.
He had a palm print there. What do you mean lack of evidence?
And he's in there going, let's ignore the palm print for a minute. Do you have anything else on me?
I don't think he was there.
After spending nearly 5 months, nearly 5 months on the run, he was arrested in Florida on December 4th, 1981, by former LAPD homicide detectives Frank Tomlinson and Tom Lang, who later gained fame for his involvement in the O.J. Simpson murder case.
No good.
Legit.
Holmes was extradited to Los Angeles and in March 1982 was charged with personally committing all 4 murders.
There we go.
After a 3-week trial, Holmes was acquitted of all charges except committing contempt of court on June 26, 1982. The murder trial was a landmark in the history of American trial procedure, as it was the first in which videotape was introduced as evidence.
Was it videos of his porn?
Probably. Here's a video of his dong. Notice how this guy didn't choke to death.
By the way, Judge, look, that's a legit 8 inches. Look at it.
Little known fact is he actually was fined for contempt of court because when he won the case, he jumped up and started doing the helicopter.
And he actually took off.
Yeah, he did. He flew around the courtroom with that thing. Holmes' career was promoted with a series of outrageous claims that he made over the years. Many made up by the spur of the moment by Holmes himself because he's a liar. The most dubious ones include, number 1, in the 1981 biographical feature documentary Exhausted, John C. Holmes, The Real Story, from director and Holmes' confidant Julia St. Vincent, Holmes claimed during an interview segment he had intercourse with over 14,000 women. Still ain't got shit on Wilt.
How are you a porn star and the name you sign off for on your biography is Exhausted?
Because every time he gets a hard on, the blood runs out of his body. It should have been comatose.
Should be oxygen deprived.
Correct. Holmes also stated he had degrees in physical therapy, medicine, and political science from UCLA.
Lying ass.
Holmes was, in fact, a high school dropout who never returned to school. And according to Bill Amerson, quote, the closest John ever got to UCLA was breaking into cars in the school's parking lot. Makes sense.
So he sounds like that knothead from New York that got expelled from, what was that, the Senate a couple of weeks ago?
Yes. What was his name? Hispanic guy.
George Santos.
Santos, yes.
I went to Stanford. We've never heard of you.
From the Dave in the HSV department of lying, Holmes said his penis was so big that he had to stop wearing underwear because, quote, I was getting erections and snapping the elastic waistband 4 or 5 times a month.
Well, quit tucking your dick into your waistband.
That's happened to me. That's happened to me twice.
It's a pretty simple solution. Who tucks their dick in their waistband? Throw that shit down your leg. What are you doing?
Holmes and Ken Osmond, who played Eddie Haskell in the TV series Leave It to Beaver, were the same person, he stated. In reality, the two men were simply shared a passing resemblance, but Holmes still claimed to be Eddie Haskell, although he was just saying something about taking it to the Beaver. I mean, it wasn't...
Wait, did he claim to be Eddie Haskell or did he claim to be Ken Osmond?
Ken Osmond, who played Eddie Haskell. I think he was claiming that him and Ken Osmond were the same person.
The same person. That's true.
Yeah.
Ken Osmond's like, what? I'm right here. What do you mean?
It's like standing next to him, like, quit doing cocaine, man.
I've been on 43 other TV shows since that.
Here's one for you. He also claimed that during the filming of a gay feature film, he inadvertently killed 2 male performers and was tried for manslaughter. The judge in the case sentenced Holmes to abstain from performing anal sex in any future films. What?
I don't believe that at all. At all.
You don't want to tear an anus.
Punctured his heart.
For some reason, women it's
Through
fine,
his
but the men,
buttocks.
2 of them.
I don't think he cared. He was in all the porn.
Women made 2 women or 2 men. There was 2 men. Women, fine. They were fine.
I loved him in 3 Men and a Baby. What?
I don't know if I like that.
I've seen that movie.
It's a great movie. It is. Actually, that was what our first logo was ever was based off of. Was that? I still have my wine tumbler with that on it.
Still got it on my fridge.
There you go. Let's change the topic entirely. February 13th, Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon crosses 402 weeks on the Billboard Top 200. I'm going to repeat that. 402 weeks. If you're doing the math, that's just under 8 years.
The lunatic is on the grass.
Are you gonna sing the whole time? Because that'd be great.
No.
Okay, then damn it. Are you drinking water?
Yes.
What are you doing?
Special canned water.
Okay. According to an article on loudersound.com by Simon Young, that was written by Simon Young. I don't know why I put his name twice. This album still holds that record. Pink Floyd as a band started in 1965 and was founded by Sid Barrett, Nick Mason, Roger Waters, and Richard Wright. David Gilmour joined the band in 1967, with Barrett leaving in 1968 due to deteriorating mental health. This was due to Barrett's use of LSD. That'll do it.
So we're not that far from John Holmes.
Nope. Pink Floyd had some moderate success releasing a few albums, and then they had their first giant hit in 1973 when Dark Side of the Moon hit the shelves. Floyd dropped another monster album in 1975 in the form of Wish You Were Here, and then The Wall in 1979. That's a pretty good decade.
We don't need no education.
That's a pretty solid decade. 3 just bangers right in a row. Roger Waters would leave the band in 1983 and began making solo albums. He would even sue the band over the use of the name Pink Floyd, and a settlement was reached. As of this podcast, Dark Side of the Moon has spent over 1,000 weeks on the Billboard Top 200, or just over 19 years in total.
So to come back is what you're telling me.
I think it has come back several times.
Well, part of it was in the 1990s, it was discovered that playing Dark Side of the Moon alongside the 1939 film Wizard of Oz produced moments of apparent synchronicity. Not gonna work here anymore.
Cirque du Soleil.
And it was suggested this was intentional. Such moments include Dorothy beginning the jog to the lyric, "No one told you when to run" during Time, balancing on a fence tightrope style during the line, "Balanced on the biggest wave" and Breathe, and putting her ear to the Tin Man's chest as the album's closing heartbeats are heard. Parsons and members of Pink Floyd denied any connection, with Parsons calling it, quote, "a complete load of eyewash." I don't know what that has to do with anything. If you play the record with the sound turned down to the TV, you will find things that work. I've done this a couple times in college. It does work. But it may have been the mushrooms.
How high were you when you did that?
It may have been the mushrooms. I'm just saying.
That's what I thought.
Still pretty good, though.
Dark of the Moon was a huge hit globally at the box office, grossing more than $1.124 billion.
Did you just say Dark of the Moon?
Becoming the 5th highest grossing film in history at the time. Sam Witwicky and his Transformer friends, led by Optimus Prime and Bumblebee, battled the dastardly Decepticons, led by Sentinel Prime and Megatron. In 1960, the Ark, a
Calvin
Cybertronian
Johnson?
spacecraft carrying an invention capable of ending the war between Autobots and Decepticons, crash lands on the dark side of Earth's moon and is detected by NASA. There's a whole war that rages on throughout the movie, and it's awesome. If you haven't seen it, you're wrong.
Nerd.
I think I'm gonna sue Dave for copyright infringement.
Transformers 3, baby.
Dark of the Moon.
Was it called Dark of the Moon?
Yeah, Transformers 3, Dark of the Moon.
That's why I was like, what?
All of us were like, wait, what did he say? You know what I'm excited for, guys? Valentine's Day.
Well, love is in the air.
And you know what that means? Time for Daytona. Valentine's Day. Time to head to the world's most famous speedway, Daytona, for the annual running of the Daytona 500. You wouldn't guess by the end results as Bobby Allison won in his number 88 Buick by 23 seconds over second place Cale Yarborough. But this race had a lot of interesting stories and intrigue. First, let's talk coverage, as I always do with these stories. CBS aired the race with Ken Squire, David Hobbs, Ned Jarrett, who seems like he's been calling NASCAR for 78 years, and Larry Newber. Allison dominated this race. Allison dominated this race, leading 147 laps, and actually set a record for most consecutive laps led at Daytona. Going back to his race in 81, which he also won that one, to this race, he became the only driver to lead the most laps in consecutive Daytona 500s. 120,000 people were in attendance to watch this race live and was dominated once again by the two drivers that had become the faces of the Daytona 500 in the forms of Bobby Allison and Cale Yarborough. It was Yarborough and Bobby's brother Donnie who made the 1979 Daytona 500, one of the more classic races ever, when the two drivers were fighting so hard for position, they wrecked each other on the backstretch of the last lap. The two then broke into a fight, which was made more crazy when Donnie's brother Bobby pulled up and jumped in. This was the first 500 appearances for Mark Martin, Rusty Wallace, and Lake Speed, and the final 500 for the aforementioned Donnie Allison.
Dave's boat.
Allison's win caused controversy when his rear bumper fell off during the race. Allison's car was apparently tapped from behind by Cale Yarborough as they raced through turns 3 and 4 early in the race. After contact,
still not far from John Holmes getting tapped from behind
in the bumper. Yep.
After contact, drilled people.
Allison's bumper peeled off and flew high into the air before landing back in traffic. Several cars either ran over the bumper or collided while trying to avoid it, causing a huge crash that brought out the race's first caution. After the bumper was off Allison's car, it was consistently faster than the competition, allowing him to pull away to a significant lead despite other drivers working together in the draft. Yarborough's crew chief, Tim Brewer, later inferred that Allison's team had intended for the bumper to come off because they knew it would offer a major aerodynamic advantage, either using hollow bolts or very thin wire to attach it superficially to the car.
Love it.
Allison and his crew chief, Gary Nelson, denied it and continue to deny it to this day.
I mean, really, it's been 42 years. You could probably say,
You just tell us.
I hate you, TJ.
By
the way, that draft they were in, was that the one where Michael Jordan went number 2? Sam Bowie, number 1?
What, you mean the draft in April?
3, wasn't it? Was that 82?
It was 84. It was 84.
It was 82.
No, it was 84.
Whatever. Anyway,
you can't even get your wrong stories right.
All right, wrong stories. Any NASCAR stories wrong? Trust me.
Incorrect.
14 cars competed in a consolation race for non-qualifiers. Are you fucking kidding me? Slick Johnson started from the pole because he's a jive soul, bro. He finished second, with Tim Richmond winning the 30-lap race. Couldn't even run a full race.
We've done a story on Tim Richmond.
Ronnie Thomas, Bill Measles had the measles, I guess, and James Hilton loved his hotels. Rounded out the top 5. Are you fucking kidding me? They had a race for people that couldn't get into the top 42. I have a whole new respect for Dave and his lake speed driving, though.
Who's the guy that he just tried to qualify for Daytona 500 last year? He was like 78 years old. Was it James
Dale
Hilton?
Yarborough. No, he's busy running hotels. He ain't got time for that shit.
Spelled wrong, not head.
It was Paris Hilton.
Sterling Marlin.
It was
It's
hot.
not him. Sterling Marlin's hot?
No, Paris Hilton. That's hot.
Oh. You know what else is hot?
But today, I'm the greatest of all time.
Vernon and Waugh. Mike Vernon with a great left.
Here it is. H. Pressure with three. Wentz is going to run the ball. Makes a guy miss. Comes down to over the second rafter. Off the floor. Nothing but net. Through the window. Off the wall. Nothing but net. You like that? You like that? I like that.
You gotta like that, right?
So I just found out there's a guy that qualified for this year's Daytona 500. His name is, well, his last name's Thompson. That I know. He's 66 years old.
Conrad?
He is a Vietnam vet, and he just qualified for this year's Daytona 500.
Larry. That's Larry. Larry Thompson.
Also, Morgan Shepherd, had he qualified,
Morgan Shepherd was the one I was thinking of.
he would have been the oldest at 72, but he didn't make it. There was another guy. He was rookie of the year in like Mark Thompson. He was rookie of the year in like 1973 and kept trying to make it.
Usually, if you're rookie of the year, you get it in automatically.
I
Right.
prefer. Well, I mean, Bagwell was 4-time rookie of the year.
It's true.
Yeah.
All
I
right,
don't know how I'm
Timmy.
going to do in 1982 NASCAR trivia.
You're up, or Dave's up right now, 3-0.
I'm not doing NASCAR this week.
So I'm going to give you again the chance. You're going
Then you're going to kill it because I don't know Dick from 82.
Baseball. Baseball.
We got to
Baseball.
do NASCAR. It's a NASCAR story.
I was going to give him NASCAR, MLB, or NFL for options. He picked baseball.
NASCAR.
Baseball. We're doing baseball.
Well, I could just mute myself and go fuck off because 82 baseball's for my time.
I'm in. I'm going to win this week.
Timmy's going to get one. So let me get all my. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Hold on.
Agoo.
There we go. All right. Let's start with 1982 batting average leaders.
Pete Rose.
Pedro Guerrero.
Let me see here. If you can get, we'll go with 4.
Pete Rose.
The first 2 guesses for both of you were incorrect.
Well, I'm out.
Eddie Murray.
Eddie Murray. 6 with 316.
Cal Ripken.
Tony Gwynn.
Cal Ripken. No. Who did
Tony
you say?
Gwynn. Tony Gwynn.
Tony Gwynn.
In 82?
No. His rookie season was 1979.
Tony Perez.
No. This is
Bob
Mike Schmidt.
Wendell.
I didn't hear what either. Mike Schmidt?
Yeah.
No. And Dave, I think, made up a name. Turk Wendell?
Bob Wendell.
Bob went, but okay.
Mr. Wendell.
Let's see. We
Burt
got one.
Babakwa.
No. Burt. Wow. We got 1, 2, 3 Hall of Famers left on this list.
Don Mattingly.
No. All the last names are surprisingly short.
Robin Yount.
Robin Yount, second. 331 of your Milwaukee Brewers.
So not fair.
Oh, this was Harvey's Wallbangers. So
I was a whole like 4 months here.
let's see.
Well,
I was
you would have
3
done any
years
better
old.
in NASCAR. You said that.
Was Molitor around then?
Paul Molitor. No.
Kirk Gibson.
Kirk Gibson. No.
Shit.
Ricky Henderson.
No.
He's the greatest of all time, though.
I understand.
82.
We want some teams.
Ken
Yeah,
Griffey.
yeah.
No. Boston.
Senior.
I knew
Dwight
you meant
Evans.
Boston.
Ruth.
No. Toronto. Chicago Cubs. Milwaukee.
Sandberg.
Pittsburgh. California Angels.
Andre
Dave
Dawson.
Parker.
No. And Montreal.
Willie Stargell.
No. You're not going to get the guy from Pittsburgh.
Cecil Fielder.
No.
Hell no.
I'm so glad you picked baseball.
Kirby Puckett.
I would have shit my pants at this one. No.
Was Ozzie Smith?
Worth a shit at the plate in 82? No, he wasn't.
Gary Templeton.
No.
This is brutal.
One more guess each, because this is failing miserably.
82 Yankees.
No Yankees.
I thought you said Yankees.
No, I didn't. I said Red Sox.
Red
Red Sox, Toronto, Cubs,
Yastrzemski.
Brewers. No. Timmy's Yastrzemski in 82.
I got Jim Rice. That dumbass.
How many more guesses do you get?
I'm not going to give it to you because I said one more. Jim Rice was 10-309.
Jim Rice. That's my guess.
No.
Here's the rest of your top 10 at number 9. Damaso Garcia of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Ooh.
Number 8, Leon Durham of the Chicago Cubs.
Oh, Leon Durham.
Yeah, you would have got that one. Cecil Cooper of the Milwaukee Brewers, 313.
Dave was close.
Bill Madlock of the Pittsburgh Pirates, 319.
Great lawyer.
Rod Carew of the California Angels, 319. And Al Oliver of the Montreal Expos, 331.
Hall of Famer Rod Carew.
I'm so excited for this next one. RBIs.
Rod Carew.
We'll go 4 again. I'm not feeling confident.
Eddie
Nope.
Murray. Fat ass.
Murray, 6th. 110.
Leon
Molitor.
Durham.
Paul Molitor. No. Leon Durham. No. There is
Already
a
forgot all the
though.
names.
There's a what?
There's a Cub on here though.
Jim Rice.
Jim Rice. No.
Dwight Evans.
There's no Red Sox. There is a Yankee on here.
Daryl Strawberry.
Daryl Strawberry. No.
Was not in the
Ricky
league.
Henderson.
No.
Mike Schmidt.
No.
Shit.
Robin Yount.
4th. 114.
I almost said him. Balls.
I almost said him.
I did.
You know who's not on here is Ozzie Smith.
That's correct. He's not. I'll give you a point for that.
Very
who
good
else is it
baseball
on there?
player.
Jose Canseco.
I at least picked Ricky Henderson.
No, you both said that now. Stop it.
I like him. There is a Cub, and it's not Leon Durham.
Correct.
Ryan Sandberg.
He would gain infamy as a Boston Red Sox. There are listeners right now screaming at their radio after I said that.
Kirk Gibson.
No.
Still not in the league.
Cal Ripken.
Kirk Gibson was in the league. 82.
82.
Cal Ripken.
No.
Ken Griffey.
Nope.
Tony Perez.
Nope. One more
Vander
guess each.
Holyfield.
Andre Dawson.
Evander Holyfield. No. Here we go. Here's the rest of your top 10. Tied for 10th, the Chicago White Sox. Harold Baines, 105.
Oh. Did he
Chicago
get trouble
Cubs.
for finger banging a lady on ESPN?
Harold Baines?
Yeah,
What?
he's right. No, it's Harold Reynolds. Is there
Harold
Oh,
Reynolds.
Harold Reynolds. Yeah.
Not Harold Baines.
Harold Baines is jumping up and down, pissed off right now.
No,
I did not.
I got
The
my
other
finger
Harold.
myself.
I've never even been on ESPN. Fuck that channel.
Well, he
Also
has, but
tied
he
for-
was a player.
Yeah, right. Also tied for 10th with the Cubs, Bill Buckner, 105. 9th of the New York Yankees, Dave Winfield, 106. 7th of the Atlanta Braves, Dale Murphy. He is tied with Al Oliver of the Montreal Expos, 109. 6th, Eddie Murray, 110. No one said Eddie Murray.
I think I said fat ass Eddie Murray. At some
You
point.
didn't. 5th, Gorman Thomas of the Milwaukee Brewers, 112. 3rd, Andre Thornton, 116. 2nd, Cecil Cooper, 121. And your league leader, are you ready for this one? Hal McRae, 133.
His son was good.
He was.
Brian McRae.
He played for the Chicago Cubs legend.
Apparently, Hal was pretty good since he led the league in RBIs that year.
He also threw a phone against the wall while spinning in place, which was tremendous to watch.
Rarudo.
Let's do one pitching category and see if you guys can pick up the pace here. Let's do wins.
Fernando Valenzuela.
Tied for 2nd with 19.
Carl Friedrich.
No.
Phil Niekro.
Dave Rigetti.
Phil Niekro.
Is he on there?
Tied for ninth with 17.
Joe Necro.
Joe Necro. Tied for ninth with 17.
What?
They were tied together.
Frank Viola.
No, and Dave Rigetti's not on here either. See, we got one.
Mario Soto.
No.
Rick Sutcliffe.
There's a couple guys that won Cy Young. There's one I know is in the Hall of Fame left on this list.
Don
League leader,
Sutton?
Don Sutton tied for ninth with 17.
With the Necro brothers.
With the
Every
Necro
old
brothers.
Charlie Huff.
They were all 58 years old, just
all the
throwing
old
junk
men.
up to the plate. ERA 4.9, but they also pitched 711 innings.
Give us some teams.
All right, here we go. Toronto, Detroit, Milwaukee, the Dodgers, the Angels.
Jack.
My son's upstairs.
I can see him. He's a ginger.
Yep.
Jack Morris.
Jack Morris tied for ninth with 17 with the Necros and Don Sutton.
Everybody's got 17 apparently.
Everybody's got 17 wins.
Let's see, where was I? California, Milwaukee, Kansas City, Montreal, Chicago White Sox, and the Phillies.
The
Steve
Phillies.
Carlton.
Yes.
Steve Carlton led the league with 23. Your score right now, 8-5, Dave.
I think
What?
I'm done.
There is no way.
8-5.
It should be 8-5. Timmy C.
We've each scored 5. I got
You've
3
each
last
scored
week.
5 points.
You want to see my
You
ball?
I thought you said 8-5. Oh, because Dave
For the
won
month.
other one.
Goofball.
I was like, wait a minute, what? Go through those teams again.
All right, this is gonna be your last guess because Dave just said he was out.
I'm
Okay.
out. I got nothing.
Toronto, Milwaukee, the Dodgers, California, Milwaukee, the Royals, Montreal, and the White Sox.
And Friedrich isn't on there, and Milwaukee's on there? Or
That's correct.
Detroit. He's Detroit.
Better make it count. This is it.
I got nothing.
Here we go. Here's the rest of your top 10. Tied with everyone with 17. Both Necros, Don Sutton and Jack Morris. Dave Steeb with 17. And Mike Caldwell, the Milwaukee Brewers. Tied for 5th, Jerry Roos.
Nolan Ryan.
Jeff Zahn, no. Believe it or not, no.
'Cause
Pete
he was-
Vukovich
He
and
was not good.
Larry Gura with 18. Shut up, Timmy. Tied for 2nd, Steve Rogers, the Expos, and Lamar Hoyt
Captain America?
of the Chicago White Sox. Your score after week 2, 8-5. Dave in the
It's a lot-
HSV.
A lot closer than it's been.
Probably should have picked NASCAR.
I doubt it, because I would have been terrible at it. Does that mean it's my turn? That means it's my turn. Let's go to Timmy's Trivioki.
Figaro.
That's not Tosca.
Ugh, my ears.
My neck, my back.
Yep. I remember. Everyone remembers when Elvis performed that.
Jamaica, ooh, I wanna take Bermuda, Bahama, come on, pretty mama, Montego, baby. All right, February 1982.
Tim, can we
Hold
call
on.
a timeout? I just saw the same thing. We just did the show about people freaking about Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes and The Rock. Your main event was just announced: Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. So everyone
What's
can
The Rock
shut.
gonna do?
Who gives a shit?
I care. I wanted to see The Rock fight Roman Reigns.
They're
Your
making the
referee.
rundown part 2.
The rundown.
Right, even better. Even better.
You know what? I'd watch it.
All right. Music this week, fire. Even more than the WrestleMania main event.
Saturday Night Fever.
You are about 5 years too late on that.
Oh.
This song is written by Alex Call and Jim Keller and performed by Tommy Two Tone, and it was released
Jim
on the
Kelly?
album Tommy Two Tone 2.
8675309.
309.
I got
your number, and I will make you right. Hey, don't change your number.
8675309. 8675309. 8675309. 8675309.
I got it. I got your number. I got it for a good time. For a good
Dave did
time.
get that one. So we got to make sure we sing all the songs now, because otherwise we'll get our YouTube banned in Russia, as I found out today.
By the way, the best interview ever was when Tommy Two Tone said, if we did that song now, it'd have to be 5555555 because you're not allowed to give out real numbers. Jenny was pissed.
Did I ever tell you the story about again? They're not sponsored.
5555555. Yeah,
That's true.
555.
I got it because it's
They're
all
not,
fives.
Again, they're not the sponsor of the show, but there's a plumbing company in Indianapolis, Indiana called Einstein. Was it no Franklin Plumbing? And I remember I was doing a UPS driver training in like 2008, and I saw the commercial on TV.
TJ's done everything.
I've done everything.
Another one of your 10 trillion jobs.
I did that one for a month and a half. It was terrible. And the whole commercial is Benjamin Franklin dancing around with a kite. And the song he's dancing to is 8675, my dog. 8675309. And guess what their phone number was?
8675309.
Yeah. I was like, that is the most genius marketing I've ever seen.
All right, I'm a little concerned about the second song. I think
I'm
TJ's
concerned
got a
about my
better
dog.
shot than Dave.
Okay.
This is a song by American singer and songwriter Stevie Nicks from her debut solo album, Belladonna. Clue number 2. The lyrics were written by Nicks to express grief resulting from the death of her uncle Jonathan and murder of John Lennon during the same week of December 1980.
Johnny's Got a Gun.
That's Aerosmith.
That's Aerosmith, and it's Janie.
And it's Janie.
Well,
and it's the album Pump. Clue number 3. In 2020, show favorite Miley Cyrus interpolated the song for her single
Flowers.
Midnight Sky.
Flowers.
Which was later remixed as a mashup. Listen, as a mashup featuring Nicks titled Edge of Midnight.
Is it called Edge of Midnight?
No.
Edge of John.
Edge of
Edging on the side of my head.
What's the name of it?
See, if you would have said that song was the song Jack Black sang in School of Rock, I probably would have got it.
Edge of 17 is the name
Edge
of the
of
song.
17, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't have got the title, but I would have said One Winged Dove for sure.
All right. Song number 3, clue number 1, which apparently there are only 2 clues for this. Nope,
Good.
there's third. All right. This is a rock song written by Alan Merrill and Jake Hooker. Not really one.
Tim is sneezing and he might die. There's nothing we can do about it.
What an idiot.
Also, it's a little upsetting you don't cover your mouth when you sneeze.
Yeah.
Be an adult about it, would you?
Covering it. It's just me.
You got COVID all over your computer screen now.
Look at your camera. It looks like shit. Looks like it's raining at Wimbledon right now in your camera.
Song number 3, clue number 1. This is a rock song written by Alan Merrill and Jake Hooker, who was not one, and first recorded by the Arrows, a British rock band in 1975.
John Holmes.
With the arrows.
The music video for this song, produced by Barry Raubag, which is a weird name, received heavy play by the fledgling MTV network. It featured This artist
Video killed the
Kill the radio
radio.
star.
and her band, the Blackhearts, traveling to a small dingy bar and then exciting the drunken crowd by performing the song and yelling out its chorus. Clue
What
number
is the
3,
name of that
Weird Al
song?
Yankovic parodied the song as I Love Rocky Road.
I love rock and roll. Maybe it's a game,
I'm a little ashamed I didn't know that one.
I could get 100%
Yeah,
on
I'm very
that
ashamed of
song right there. 100% on Guitar Hero.
Oh, Guitar Hero, I could play this backwards without looking.
Backward? Why would you play it backwards?
Well, not facing the TV is what I meant.
Oh, I was like, that's salad if you can play it on a guitar. It's not
Rock, love, yeah, baby.
No, it's not what I meant.
Hit the clip. Oh, it's time for Game Fave. Have you seen it?
You slip her the hot beef injection.
But damn it, I got nothing, guys.
Anna Kendrick still very hot.
So this
So,
is like the 6th episode in a row you mentioned that.
Quick
And I
story.
noticed this last time when that clip comes up on the monitor here, you get weirdly close to your camera.
You know, you can just Google Anna Kendrick naked.
Has she been naked?
So weird story, guys.
I like this. I really
Everybody
don't want to talk
knows-
about world class.
Everybody knows my oldest daughter is injured, right?
Correct.
She's a hip injury. She can't play basketball right now. She made the all-star team. Her basketball team only has 5 girls on their team now. So they've been borrowing girls from usually the team they're playing. Most teams have 7 or 8.
Yeah.
So they've been taking 1 or 2 from another team, let girls rotate in and out. So their coach today, they had a game tonight. The coach today, my wife texts me and says 4-2 them in the second quarter. So the other team.
Holy Jesus.
Hold on. I said, they have any help from the other team? She says, funny you asked, and I'm glad you're not here. We borrowed a player from a different team, and this team threw a fit, so she had to leave. This is 10U basketball, and they're not playing for shit.
Wait,
They're literally playing basketball, and
The
this
10-year-old
team
quit.
threw a fit about them borrowing another player from another team so their girls could actually sit out and take a break during the middle of a fucking basketball game.
I need you to explain to me. So the 2 teams agreed, hey, this girl's going to go over and play for your team.
No,
That's fine.
no, the other team threw a fit about it.
So
Every game, they've said like, hey, we only have 5 players. Could we borrow a player or 2, kind of make it even, let our girls sit?
Because it's 10U. It's not like you win a championship belt at the end of the
Well, again, the score at halftime was 4-2. How about
Well,
you?
that was
settle
in the
down?
second quarter. Second
Well,
quarter.
Either way,
You
So my wife
played
said
a quarter
they
of
lost,
basketball and
they
6
lost
points
7
were scored.
my wife said they lost 17-12. So, but it's like, dude, it's 10U basketball, girl basketball at that, on 10-foot rims. Are we really that worried? And there is no tournament at the end of the year or anything. This shit's
It's
over
for
next
fun.
week.
It's
It's literally over next week.
it's beer league basketball.
And you're going to throw a fit about a team borrowing another player because they only have enough players to get on the court. So no player gets any breaks or anything like that. What
They
are we
really
doing?
wanted to win that game, 17-12.
we're talking about wrestling social media to start this show. I would say because I was a
Little League coaching.
I was a Little League baseball coach for one season, and it wasn't because of the kids. I think we need to throw in Little League sports parents are the drizzling shits as human beings for the most part.
No,
why
not
you
for the
playing my
most part.
son? Because he's fucking trash. That's why.
It just doesn't take much to set the bad ones off. Is the problem?
But I mean, the thing is though, is that so many people act like their kid is the next coming of Christ in whatever particular sport they're playing in.
Yes, they're not.
Note to the world: your kid probably fucking sucks.
Correct. True.
And I've watched enough OXR 10U girls basketball to know that most of those girls out there, well, not most, there ain't a one that's making the fucking WNBA, all right? So let's all calm the hell down and let the little girls get a break.
Right.
We had to be very strategic. And my daughter's last game with our timeouts, because they like I said, they only have 6 players and one girl didn't show up. So all 5 girls had to play. My daughter's playing through an injury. So you should have seen us out there figuring out when we're going to call timeouts and how we're going to do this, and being very strategic with it. Oh, look, she just got fouled. Timeout. We're taking a full timeout. Give the girls 2 minutes to sit down, get some water and rest.
Right.
And then they get an extra 30 seconds over these 2 free throws. But my God, people, we're not playing for the Super Bowl here or the NBA championship or the World Series or the World Cup or WrestleMania.
Or the Winston Cup.
Everybody needs to chill out.
Be weird to see U10 girls smoking.
My wife is literally saying, I am so glad you decided to record tonight, because had you come here, you probably would have gotten to a fight.
I am not glad you decided to record tonight.
I'm not either, but I will say, like, for the parents out there who are like, well, sometimes the kids need to learn that life's not fair. I will rip your throat out in front of you if you say that in front of me.
They're fucking 10-year-old girls.
What the fuck?
All right. Have you seen it? Here we go.
I have seen
1982, TJ leads 2-1. After listening to last week's episode, he totally beat Tim by about 4.8 seconds on the first answer.
Liars.
Here we go. We have 4 movies this week. February 1982.
Wow.
I chose movies from all of 1982 because there wasn't dick squat for February.
Dick squat.
Movie number uno. With a budget of $10.5 million.
Pretty good in 82.
Our first movie this week grossed more than $792.9.
E.T. The extraterrestrial.
With E.T.
Well, I thought
Troubled
E.T. was
child
like
named Elliot
80.
summons the courage to help a friendly alien
First
escape
ever
Earth
movie I saw in the theater.
and return to his home planet. This film stars Drew Barrymore, some other people, and an alien.
I thought E.T. was 80 or 81.
My dad fell asleep during this movie.
It was so boring. I watched it as a kid and hated it.
E.T. is so boring.
It's
E.T.
so
is
boring.
Like, I went back and tried to watch it. It was like, wow, this is shit.
Well,
after they
I had it on
they throw the
VHS.
Reese's Pieces out, this movie turns to shit.
This is the first movie I ever owned on VHS. And we watched it. I was so excited to watch this movie. Everybody talked about it. I watched it. I was like, that shit sucked.
It's
mean,
weird.
there's no scenes
the
where-
Atari game was actually better than the movie.
It was not.
And it was terrible.
There's no scenes in the movie where E.T.'s like battling ninjas or nothing like that. The story's good. There's
Well, it
no
would have been
action
way
scenes.
better if he was.
That's true. I'm not arguing that.
Movie number B. Oh, make sure Timmy C gets the point.
That's Jean-Claude Van Damme. Why is he in this movie? Just kicking aliens in the
Timmy C.
face.
Movie number B on a budget of $12 million. Our second movie this week grossed more than $78.9 million at the box office.
Pretty good.
This is an American buddy cop action comedy film.
48 hours.
48 hours, Timmy C whooping that ass. A hard-nosed cop reluctantly teams up with a wisecracking criminal temporarily paroled to help him track down a killer. Obviously, TJ was not born yet.
I was not 3 years ago.
I was 3 years old. You think I'm watching 48 hours?
You probably were. Also, you're not fooling anybody. You weren't 3. You were like 18.
You saw it in the theater.
I was in the rated R movie.
Here we go. Movie number C. on a budget of $4 million.
Peanuts.
This movie grossed more than $160 million at the box office. This is an American sex comedy film.
Porky's.
T.J. Stevens. In 1954, a group of Florida high school guys try to help their buddy lose his virginity, which leads them to seek revenge on a sleazy nightclub owner and his redneck sheriff brother for harassing them.
I want to point out.
Booyakasha.
I want to point out we've gotten all three movies just by the movie description. We haven't hit any clues yet.
I'm waiting for. Well, technically on ET, I got it off the dollar amount.
Yeah,
right. Well, I mean, yeah, there's not too many movies.
I was wondering if you were going to get it off the dollar amount on that one, but I mean, how could you not? $10 million to $796. Holy shit, balls.
Steven Spielberg's rich.
So we call that the Steven Spielberg effect.
Our last movie of the week. It is a tie score of 3-3. We'll give TJ an extra point. It's now 4-3. TJ. Our last movie this week with a budget of $15 million.
Biggest so far.
Grossed more than $125.2 million at the box office.
Okay.
This is an American action thriller film. A veteran Green Beret is forced by a cruel sheriff and his deputies
First Blood.
to flee in First Blood. Timmy C.
Wow.
All right.
So to be fair, I wouldn't have gotten First Blood or 48 Hours. I wouldn't have got either one of them.
A veteran Green Beret is forced by a cruel sheriff and his deputies to flee into the mountains and wage an escalating one-man war against his pursuers. You wouldn't have gotten that?
John Rambo.
Oh, you would. I was waiting on one of y'all to say Rambo and one of y'all to say First Blood.
I would have said Rambo, yeah.
Timmy, 3-1. It is now
4-4.
4-3.
As long as you give TJ the extra point.
Timmy, 4. TJ, 3.99.
All right, P break.
3, 2, 7.
All right, let's head into the wrestling card. We're doing World-Class Championship Wrestling from February 20th, 1982. We're on the world-famous Sportatorium in Dallas, Texas. Your announcers are Gene Goodson and David Von Erich. Now, we've done a few shows from World Class. For the most part, I would say we generally like World Class. There's always a Von Erich on color. I don't know why, because they're terrible at it. And
no, usually it's the other guy.
Fritz?
No,
Mark. You're talking about Mark Lawrence.
Oh, he's the ring announcer this time.
Yeah, he was ringing. But I mean, they have David Von Erich doing guest color. Usually one of the Von Erichs is doing guest color.
Usually
it's Fritz.
They're the shits. And this show was terrible.
Incorrect.
Horrible. Worst show we've ever watched.
We start the show with good old Gene. By the way, Pond Water's just throwing shit at his computer right now listening to us.
He loves me.
Okay. Well, that's true. We start the show with Gene and David as we go over the card for tonight, including Kerry Von Erich against the Great Kabuki and Al Madrid against Frank Dusek.
I will say though, even the guys that are opening look old and shitty. Like this is a hype reel. Why is that guy 65?
I love that Timmy's like, I really like this show. Also, everyone looks fucking ancient.
And I don't know who the guy announcing is because he's not a goo.
Gene gets him.
But he looks like he's already sweat through his tuxedo. So I'm into it. The crowd looks like the crowd looks like a bunch of pores, though. I mean, this is a rough ass crowd.
Well, again, the security barrier was a laundry rope,
which someone stole at the end of the night because they didn't have one at the trailer park.
I gotta wash my britches in the morning. Now, if I remember right, the first show we did,
this was my son. My son stole the laundry rope.
This was the first show we did years ago where Dave said his titties belly button joke was doing a sportatorium crowd, if I remember.
What's between a woman and the sportatorium's titties?
Yeah,
yes.
belly button. Yeah, that was forever ago. Match 1: Carlos Zapata takes on Tony Torres. Zapata is a spot-on image of Fidel Castro. Well, at least until he gets in his wrestling gear. Then he's not.
Then he looked like a fat Castro.
He's a fat white guy with long hair and a long beard.
He looked like a fat Sami Zayn.
Fidel.
You know what? Yes. Fidel Cholesterol. We start the match with Gene Goodson by saying that Torres. Gene Goodson starts this match by saying that Torres has lost every match he's been in. Great. Thank you.
Winner.
Way to get him
He's
over.
a winner.
Gene Goodson doesn't know the proper name for a back body drop, calling it a back loop suplex or some such shit.
It's a suplex.
Torres got no offense in except a kick and a small package, but somehow this match took 10 minutes. Zapata
He's not related to Drake then.
No,
It took forever for these guys to even lock up. Dude, they walked
Yes.
around the ring for 3 minutes before they even started the match.
True.
I was already bored with this show. I almost turned it off and just quit and just melded in.
Zapata's probably looking at the referee. Hey, how fucking green is this guy?
I mean, the highest spot of this match was when Zapata bit Torres. That was it. He bit him in the shoulder.
In the shoulder.
He's
The back
biting
of
him in the shoulder.
The back of the shoulder.
And then David Von Erich was like, I don't think that is legal. You can't do that in world class.
Why did you turn into like brother love on Downers?
Also, that wasn't even a clip. That was actual audio from World Class Championship Wrestling of David Von Erich doing commentary.
That's a tooth grab.
Well,
in the shoulder.
I wouldn't do that, but he's Cuban, so they do some weird shit down there.
My dad would spank my bottom. Old Fritz with the hits on my ass.
He give me the claw to my buttocks.
Fist me.
Dave, you need a pair
Miss
of pants
me.
like Mark. You need a pair of pants like Mark Lawrence has here. The Roddy Piper 82s with the what is the pattern?
You want to do plaid bell bottoms? Is that what you want to
Plaid bell bottoms. There you go.
do? Wow.
I
Everyone
look
looks
so
like a
good in
rookie.
plaid.
Everyone looks like a rookie compared to old Shoe Man here. By the way, Zapata is shoe in Spanish. I'm in Mexico right now, so
Is it?
I'm,
Is
I'm
Zapata shoe in
learning the
Spanish?
language. Yes,
It's El Shuo. Stop lying.
it's Zapata.
Also, how did you take your whole room to Mexico? Because it looks like you're in your room right now.
It's a green screen. It's a green screen.
Interesting
They have green
strategy.
screens at Mexico resorts.
Bartender, dos más cerveza, por favor.
Also, watch my son's pants.
Yo tengo el gato en los pantalones.
Yo soy Jizzo.
We think that's hilarious. The audience has no idea what's going on right now.
By the way, Carlos here looks like he could be Charlie from Oregon. I
Who's
mean,
Charlie from Oregon?
He doesn't look Hispanic at all. I think
Is
they made that
Oregon
up.
a Kansas cover band? What is that?
Yes.
Yeah.
David
Oregon.
Von Erich, Hell on Wheels is a color commentator. I love it.
Wow,
I thought
really?
he was fabulous.
He was
But-
like, what was the guy from Raw?
Rob
Oh, the
Bartlett.
DJ, Rob Bartlett. Yes.
He was Rob Bartlett, but amped up.
He made Rob Bartlett look like he's going to be in Waterloo next week.
Oh,
But isn't it kind of disrespectful for the announcer to say that Kerry is the uncrowned champion while David is literally sitting in the announce booth next to him?
well, again,
It wasn't like David was
Pondwater-
retired from wrestling.
Pondwater will appreciate this part of it. So Kerry Von Erich, based on look and everything else, everyone thought he would be a future NWA world champion, which he was in '84 after David died. But to the people in the wrestling business, everyone thought David was going to be the one to break out of the family.
Well, when I watched this, all I could think was Kerry is definitely a future star
Wrestler.
in a Clearasil commercial.
Yes, the pimples were my God.
A lot of zits.
Well, to be
He
fair,
did.
he was 15 years old here, so he probably asked Fritz to watch his pants before this.
He was on the gas since age 11.
Dad, I shit myself.
Doing the shot put.
Doing the
think,
shot. It's the shit put.
You think mommy can wash my britches?
Oh,
my,
sure.
my wrestling panties are they got brown stain in the bottom.
Well, sure, son,
my
but you
daddy.
got to take them off first. I can't put you in the washer.
Okay, but please don't laugh at my penis.
Not related to Drake. And we finally get David on commentary, and thanks, David, explaining how eyes work. Good job. Appreciate you.
You see,
With your eyes.
You need
with
you
your
need
eyes.
both of them. Unless you're Jean-Pierre Lafitte, then you only need
and-
one of them.
But speaking of feet,
then-
my brother Kerry only needs one.
when you close your eyes, you can't see.
It's true.
Hard to fight with your eyes closed.
It's true. He's not wrong.
It's not. You can fight all you want to. You're just gonna lose a lot.
It'd be like Blinken and Robin Hood Men in Tights fighting a pole.
Or like that girl there in the Drake video.
There you go. Oh. Up next, we're with Gene Goodson with Kevin Von Erich. Kevin Von Erich this time, as he says he's coming to
Oh,
your
no
town
shoes.
to meet pretty girls. I hope he has more charisma in the bar than he does on the mic, because this was the shits. Then Kevin says they want to get rid of Gary Hart and his men. Then we see Kerry Von Erich as he reads a letter a fan wrote about his unibrow and how much they love wrestling.
How did you hate this show? This is gold.
The whole time staring at that bridge of his nose. That fucking eyebrow. Apparently, there are no other baby faces on this show that don't have the last name Von Erich.
Well, there were
This
none in
was
the entire
legit.
promotion.
This was legit Kevin Von Erich's interview. we Von Erichs here take wrestling very seriously.
I need Dave to just be a Von Erich every time we review a show.
And
He could be the new
My
David
dad-
Von Erich.
My daddy Fritz was taken out with the spit by Kabuki, and you know we plan on traveling all over the globe here with this great organization. It's world class, and we go to these new towns, and there's pretty women, and like. They like me because I'm a wrestler. And what I like to do with these pretty women
Take my shoes off.
is I like to have them rub my feet.
Tremendous.
You just get your fingers in between my toes.
Ah!
and
Ah!
I
and then
agree.
it's so many pretty women.
Kevin's promo is literally about whoring around the country.
That is
We meet
what-
all these teenage girls, and none of us go to jail ever. I don't get it. And
Show me your
Christ,
boobies.
why
I
did
like them
Fritz
too.
not teach him how to do a promo? He taught him that shitty claw move, but couldn't teach him how to cut a promo. By the way, Kerry, clear so man. Oof.
You think they use the
Oof.
claw on women's titties? I
Absolutely.
have this hand here.
Kevin
You're-
used his foot. He used the
you're
foot
very-
claw.
You're a very pretty preteen. Let me
See,
grab
if I
your
take
titty.
the claw and I bend in my thumb and my middle finger, we call it the bowling ball.
I use this
The
hand. I
bowling
do the. I use
and
this
that's what I'm
hand.
getting ready to do to you.
Your nipple will pop right off.
This hand is good for two things: the claw and undoing training bras. That's it.
Yep. See, if I crook these two fingers in, have you ever heard of two in the pink, one in the stink? Because that's what's about to happen. We're gonna do the old
It's the
Neapolitan here in a second.
It's the Von Erich spot.
Match 2.
boy.
Speaking of sex with the Von Erichs, it's time for the Great Kabuki with Gary Hart against Dick Blood.
Dick Blood.
How does-
Also Carrie's nickname on the road.
Richard Blood was his name, but how does anyone decide to wrestle and pick the name Dick Blood? And this is not Ricky Steamboat, for the record.
I totally thought it was Ricky Steamboat, and I was so excited.
It was not.
Such bullshit.
It was just some guy named Richard Blood.
You should have listened earlier when David told you how eyes worked. You should have just opened your eyes and looked at the screen. You'd have seen it wasn't Ricky Steamboat.
That guy's real white. That's not Richard. That's not Ricky Steamboat. Kabuki is wearing his finest pair of painter's pants to show off his upper body that matches that of a 63-year-old woman. Kabuki keeps throwing on the dreaded titty twister on Richard. Did you guys notice this?
Yes.
Constantly.
He's doing that Von Erich claw to the nipple.
To the titty. To
the nipple claw.
The commentators are calling this match with the raw emotion of a real...
Did you call it the nitty?
I did. The commentators are calling this match with the raw emotion of a real estate auction. And after 2 fist drops, Kabuki gets the win. After the match, Al Majul comes out of the ring to help in no particular hurry. Bronco Lubitsch does his part and slaps Blood in the face. What is happening here?
This was the slowest match ever. I think we need to try and recruit new wrestling fans by watching this show.
Yes.
Have you ever seen pro wrestling? You have to watch this. You'll love it.
I love watching Al Majul comes out and he just kneels next to him right there. Bronco Lubitsch. They're trying. By the way, they're lifting him up out of the ring like Jackie Moon in Semi-Pro.
Well, by the way, we knew Bronco Lubitsch wasn't even going to kneel because they
pick him up. Bronco Lubitsch they goes, "Are you all right, son?" And just legit goes. Slapping him.
So let me get this straight. We're going to see 2 Kabuki matches.
Oh, you are.
This show is 2 Kabuki. I love it. Oh, Dick Blood is here. So there's that. Again, goes down with those powerful green hands. We don't hear that enough in wrestling. He's going down with those powerful green hands.
My daddy would ground me if I spit mist. He told me that's not allowed.
Into his tights, and never mind. I love Kabuki's titty twister. It's great.
Oh,
also great. Bronco Lubitsch is here to do not a goddamn thing, just like when he's reffing.
I love that.
He's not doing anything.
He actually did a 3 count on this show on one knee.
He did. Bronco Lubitsch is the only ref in history whose belly never touched the mat.
He's like, I can count to 3, but I'll have to be standing while I do it. I count on the turnbuckle.
3 years later, he actually just took like a hand puppet and put on his shoe and would just tap his toe for the 3 count.
Could you imagine if he had a cane and it turned upside down and that was how he hit the match?
He needed the Zabato kid.
There you go. Match 3, Kerry Von Erich.
Clearasil Von Erich
takes on the Great Kabuki. This match took place 2 weeks previously. Fritz Von Erich is on commentary telling us how Kerry is recruited by the University of Houston for shot put and football as a linebacker. From what I looked up, Kerry never went to Houston, which is weird if the recruitment part is real.
They have a drug policy.
Oh, so there's that. I would hate to wrestle Kabuki. He's just a giant green mess from all the mist he blows out throughout the match.
He is.
Like wrestling a Jolly Rancher. Or as I put here, literally my next sentence, I didn't even realize this. It'd be like wrestling a cracked ketchup bottle. It's what
ketchup, not green.
They make green ketchup in the
old
90s.
School green ketchup. Don't you remember?
But it was in a plastic bottle. It's not good.
Remember when they made stupid salad dressings like taco cheese salad dressing, all that goofy shit too? Kabuki ups the ante with the even more devastating double titty twister.
Man, you ever got your titty twisted? I'll probably tap out. That hurts, man.
Both
Twice.
Both
you ever had both of them?
I'll tap. Take my belt. Shit. WrestleMania over.
Kerry
what Cody's going to do to Roman.
Oh, there you go. He took this out of the page of Kabuki. Kerry reverses the...
That should be the ending right there. Finish the story. It's just Cody going in and wrestling like he's the great Kabuki. It's the slowest match in history. And 18 minutes later, he takes the belt off Roman.
16 minutes of titty twisters. Kerry reverses a potential top rope move by Kabuki with an abdominal claw. And then Gary Hart, I should say, interferes. And here comes Fritz. After some deliberation, the Von Erichs don't get their way, and the result of the match is a double DQ. So I'm glad we watched a match from 2 weeks ago that ended in a double disqualification. What are we doing? What are we doing right now?
Here's my take on the match. I thought Kerry moved great in the ring with 2 feet.
He was a really good wrestler with 2 feet.
Very
I
agile.
shouldn't have chopped the other one off.
We kind of smashed it off.
You guys remember Kabuki in the WWF?
What was 90? Was it the 94 Rumble?
94 Royal Rumble. He helped stuff the Undertaker in the casket. I don't remember him doing
97.
anything else.
Well, they have? What was that? Tenru. They had a relationship with, and it kind of fell apart after that. So no.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised Von Erich didn't go over cleanly here. That might be the first time.
Well, they weren't at Dallas Stadium, so
yeah, they were in Kabuki's home.
Where were they?
It wasn't a sportatorium. It might have been Reunion Arena, maybe.
It was,
but it wasn't Texas Stadium.
Trailer park in West Oklahoma.
Because Reunion Arena, that's where they did Flair and Kerry in the cage, and ended up setting off the Freebirds and Von Erich's rivalry. So that might have been where they were.
I was glad we got to see the same wrestler in 2 matches in a row. That was cool. I agree, Dave. It's weird to see Kerry here with 2 whole feet. Don't really need Fritz on commentary.
You could have just said Von Erich. Could have replaced Fritz, put Von Erich, and it would have fit.
I really don't need any Von Erich.
I don't need any Von Erich.
Bring me back some Mark Lawrence. Hey, goo.
Yeah.
And the titty twister doesn't work on Kerry because he's too greasy from the acne. Like he does the titty twister and Kabuki gets sprayed in the face with pus. It's like one of those pimple popping videos.
Lactation from the massive hormone imbalance.
Yes, that too.
We're up next. We're back with Gene and David Von Erich. Why do they keep putting the boys on color commentary when they're obviously terrible?
Or the dad. Why
didn't
they bring Mrs. Von Erich in to talk about baking powder?
Yeah, can she talk?
Fritz didn't allow her to speak.
That's true.
She was a mute.
Hey, Fritz, how about maybe you give me a try on the microphone? How about
Shut up, whore.
How about you go make me a sandwich, bitch? Why are you even here? We just made Fritz Von Erich a sexist dick. I love it.
I don't think we had to do. We weren't stretching.
Why don't you go make me a sandwich, bitch?
Why are you even here? Who gave you keys to the sport authority?
Who gave you keys to the sport authority?
I don't let you drive. How did you get here? I snuck to the show in the trunk when you left.
I'm fucking crying. Podwater's never going to speak to us again after he hears this.
He was a saint, and you guys disparaged her name. Match 4, Ivan Putski versus Jack Taylor. Son of a bitch, there's still 15 minutes left on
15. There's 15.
We've seen some decent world-class shows, but this is just awful. This match is showcasing Putski's strength and his ability to make his titties dance. Putski wins with a double sledge.
Are we at Uncle Buck's?
What's with both those guys signing autographs there's a million kids around the ring getting autographs. What in the hell's going on here?
Your guardrail is a clothesline, so
they had to sell those to pay the trailer payment.
I wish Jack Taylor would have ran at Putski and he would have back body dropped him onto a group of children.
Folks, it's been a terrible tragedy here tonight.
How the hell was Putski so over? I will never understand it.
I don't get it.
All he did was make his boobs bounce.
Great, Bronco Lubitsch here. Putski's booby bungalow.
This might have been the match. He counted the 3 on one knee. This might have been it.
Bronco Lubitsch reffing, so no one will be reffing. That's fabulous. WCCW obviously still part of the NWA. And
they weren't for too much longer after this, though.
Well, and I'm thinking WWF was also because they got Putski.
82. I don't think they were either.
And I'm wondering, my notes were you go outside. I'm pretty sure that was Bronco Lubitsch reffing. He just said you go outside.
I know Vince McMahon Sr. left the NWA before he left. That was in the early 70s. Fritz left shortly after this, but he still had such a good relationship with the other promoters that they acted like he was in the NWA, even though he wasn't. It's very interesting. If you never read the NWA book by, I think it's Tim Hornbaker. I'm sorry if I got that wrong. You should. It's outstanding. It's really great. Now we have Gene Goodson and the African champion, Aman Hussein.
That sounds more like a Middle Eastern champion.
Imagine
Africa, Texas is a real place, man.
Imagine the nation. Imagine the Nation of Domination, but in Texas in 1982. That was Aman Hussein. Then we go to Gary Hart as he talks about his bald head and why he's bald, as he lost the match against the Von Erichs with another guy.
Like 5 years prior.
Yes.
Does Gary Hart know that you can grow your hair out after it's shaved?
No.
He literally couldn't.
He lives the gimmick.
Well, no, I
I'm
think
bald
he was
forever.
just bald. He was just balding.
Match 5. Captain Frank Dusek against Al Madrill. Listen, I didn't watch this match at all. But apparently from the brief research I did, because that's what I was doing during this match, was researching the shit Gary Hart just said. The other guy Gary Hart is referencing is King Kong Bundy. And Bundy's still here with the company, so I don't get it. I don't understand why they're not saying his name. Back to the match. Madrill just randomly crumples down with a potential knee injury as Bronco Lubitsch calls off the match. It was such a random spot. It had to be legit. No one's that creative. The heels continue the attack when here comes David Von Erich. That's how we go off the air.
Yeah, it was a legit injury because he blew out his knee and went to the ground.
Yeah.
And then Dusek didn't know what the hell to do.
Right.
The ref stopped the match, and then Dusek started attacking Madrill by like kicks to the head. Madrill wasn't even budging; he was still just holding his knee.
Yeah,
and you could tell that that was a botch. So
because who was out there with Dusek? It was because he was out there trying to stop him.
The goon,
making it look like he was trying to stop him.
The goon guy. What's his name?
Bill Irwin was out there trying to stop him without making it obvious.
The goon guy.
Well, like I understood it, so it worked.
This was terrible. If you ever make me watch this shit again, I quit the show.
Yeah. By the way, Dave, the rest of this year we're gonna watch the episodes of World Class
82 WCC. We're gonna take a note from Shivani and just do 82 World Class Championship Wrestling.
Fuck stories.
We're gonna name this 1982, the podcast.
Bartender, or no,
maybe
operator, please connect me.
Maybe we'll have to talk to Pondwater. Maybe we can actually do that. Do a World Class 82
great content.
show.
Pondwater sitting here talking about how great it is while Timmy and I shit all over it.
I've not. I've loved this show. What are you talking about?
Would I just be the Gene Okerlund of the show?
Yeah.
And Pondwater Dave, how did you feel about this? What am I doing?
I was there.
I was. Look, I'm right there. You can see
I was the kid that they backdropped the guy on too.
I was the guy that was under Ivan Putski.
I don't know if I would have liked wrestling as a kid if I watched WCCW.
I still have Forrest Gump braces to this day.
Yeah.
Getting ready to drop a Dusek. I love it. I love when Frank Dusek's in a match. Bronco Lubitsch doesn't look a day over 84 here. Mr. Drop a Dusek doesn't look a day over 74. So we're doing good.
You know what's fun? I don't know if I ever told you guys this. So there's kind of famous wrestling families throughout the years, right? You have the Welches, and you have the McMahons.
No, they're the grape juice family.
Well, what's the Welches? What the hell?
Grape juice.
Colonel Ron
Parker.
His real name is Ron Welch, right? So the Welch family own promotions, McMahon's, the Von Erichs, and all this other stuff. But all those names are fake, right? They're not the real names. Dusek his real name's not Dusek. The Dusek's an imaginary wrestling family but the Dusek name goes back to like the 20s. It's crazy, but you never hear about them. And they were promoters in the whole 9 yards. It's kind of bananas.
So Madrill hurts his knee in the middle of the match for real?
Yes.
And I've learned from these episodes that The Von Erichs are hotheads. That's. I don't know how
Are
they
they?
got over his baby faces. Yeah, they always run down to the ring, and this is bullshit.
But they have to run down to the ring because they have to wake us up after their commentary.
But we're getting ready to go off the air, and the announcer says, "That's all we got. Ain't no more." The ring is literally full. It has wrestlers signing autographs for fans, and they're getting ready to have another match for the next episode.
Yes.
But you couldn't. We got no more. Ignore these fucks.
Also, the show just got interesting, and now you're like, I'll see you next week. By the way, that kid from Ivan Putski still paralyzed, but we'll air that next week. He'll be a
we'll
special
talk to Pond
story.
Water later next week.
No, he was shot, not dropped, back body drop by Evan Putski.
I think the second one would probably be better.
Are we gonna should we do the next show? I have a show made up, but I'll do the next World Class. I'm in.
No, we're not doing the next World Class. Dave will quit the show.
Well, you're not gonna quit this show. And if you enjoyed this week's episode, please let us know. Give us that 5-star review wherever you get this podcast. Make sure to follow the show on Twitter at FF Popcast, on Instagram at Filter Free Popcast. Follow our Patreon network at Filter Free Net, and of course, watch on Premiere on YouTube, Premiere Streaming Network. As for us, you can find us all on our social media platforms at, I'll skip Timmy because he's about to die, Dollar Bill Dave.
Follow me on X at Dave
No.
in the HSV.
What is it?
Timmy C.
At Timmy C 1979 on Twitter.
And I am at T Stevens 91 next week. Are you all ready for this? WWECW from February 2007. Here we go. We have Anna Nicole Smith kicks the bucket, the closest finish in Daytona 500 history, and Mike Awesome passes away. All that and so much more. As for now, this has been the Filter Free Popcast, and so long for now.
Joke of the week. What happened to the proctologist when his longtime girlfriend broke up with him?
Turn into a real asshole.
It absolutely wrecked him.